Welcome to the PMPA Speaking of Precision podcast, featuring your hosts Carly Kistler-Miller and Miles Free.
Hello, I'm Miles Free, and welcome to PMPA's Speaking of Precision, Monday with Miles podcast. Carly Kistler-Miller has joined me today, and we are going to discuss how she was the hostess at our Cleveland Immersive Experiences last week for the entire precision machining industry. Welcome, Carly.
Well, thank you, Miles. I'm actually still very energized. What Miles is discussing is in Cleveland on August 8th through 10th, we had our National Technical Conference. On the 10th and 11th, we launched our Mastery Program. And 10th through 12th was the Precision Machining Technology Show held at the Huntington Convention Center, which was the first big trade show the Convention Center has had in 18 months.
Talk about overproduction.
I was a little tired after, but it was so worth it. So I'm really excited to sort of talk to you about what we experienced that week. It was a lot of information in a little amount of time. We got to see a lot of people we haven't seen before. The ideas were flying around the rooms, around the hallways, at dinners and such.
It was concentrated, there's no doubt about that. But Carly, I think that one of the greatest things that I took from it, and I am a techie, but one of the greatest things that I took out of it was reconnecting with the people that I normally communicate with over the email or over a phone call or even a text. But we were face to face. We could see, we could touch, we could look at the things, we could be present together. And you know, our theme here is better together. And boy, were we better together in Cleveland.
That was kind of just the overall thread through the whole thing. Was we realized how much we need each other. I mean, we knew that, we felt that, but you can really feel it when you're standing in front of your
It's
peers.
a community. So in business and in business writing, they talk about the industry. We talk about the industry. Well, the heck with the industry. We're a community. And my friends, my neighbors, my colleagues, the people that I count on, the people that know stuff I don't know, they were there. And I got to shake their hand or fist bump or elbow bump or just stand away. But whatever, we were present, we were together, and we were all sharing all kinds of valuable information about our craft.
We were, and it all started with the National Technical Conference. Started on a Sunday. Rudy Rudiger was our keynote speaker.
Rudy, right? That's the guy, right?
That's the guy. He was great. He launched it. He got everything started, and we went right into our sessions. We had an escape room this year, which I've been hearing buzz about. People were loving the escape room. Boxes, they had to find clues in the instructions, and Ron Herrera designed the whole thing, God bless him, and they had a great time.
Basically, you're given the clues, and the question is, can you or can you not quote this job?
Yeah.
And so, you know, is this material right? What's the right feed and speed? Whatever the clues were, they kept a room fully engaged in groups of, I think, 5 or 6 as teams. Yeah. And there was not a bored person to be seen in that session.
A lot of team building in that session.
So I think for those who weren't there, I think it's only fair, Carly, that, you know, you kind of take credit for the fact that this wasn't just one session followed by another session. Our National Technical Conference was 35 sessions.
Yes.
Over that time period, held concurrently 3 at a time, right?
4.
4 at a time.
4 at a time.
See, I can't count.
8 blocks of 4 sessions, yes.
8 blocks of 4 sessions. Somehow that's 35. Folks, it's 2 MBAs in microphones. That just take it to the bank.
It's 30, but it's still a ton of information. So we had 4 rooms.
And the tracks were?
And we had 4 tracks. So we had fundamentals track, we had mastery, we had administrative, and then we had our print sessions. And so people were going, you weren't having an experienced person sitting in bar stock if they already knew everything about bar stock, but we had 67 first-timers. And boy, I was hearing from them. They were loving it. They were saying, oh, we came here to learn something, and boy, did I learn something. I have this laundry list of stuff to bring back to my shop that we can apply to our shop.
And tell them how you gave them the format for their laundry list, their personal laundry list.
Oh, you mean the aha moments?
Absolutely.
So we had aha moment cards that you could write down. It was actually in duplicate because the committee, we'd like to see what the aha moment is. We always want to make sure that we're delivering the content that people can use and
that they value.
Is relevant. And we were going through those the other day, and oh my gosh, the aha moments were fantastic. The speakers were just absolutely thrilled to see what people were taking away from, and we had sessions on, materials, on process, on culture, on, I can't even remember all the
process.
We covered everything, and it was a big buzz. And they're already talking about 2022, which is great because guess what? It's in May.
It's in May.
It's May 1st through 3rd. Get that in your calendar. 1st through 3rd
ticking.
In Milwaukee. But so we come off the high of Tech Conference. The print sessions went well too. I want to mention that.
Right.
People always love the print sessions.
Right. So
explain what they do in that.
So imagine that. Well, I'll just explain my experience. So I was a plant metallurgist. I really never operated a machine, and I'm selling bar stock to companies that put it in machines. And I walked into my very first print session a long time ago. I had no idea which end of the machine the bars even went in, or that it made a difference. And I'm sitting at the table, and we've got a blueprint. We've got the print to make the part. And then we talk about, okay, we have to feed the bar out. It has to feed out so far because, it's got to be rigid, and how long is the part, and the cutoff loss, and it's got to hit the stop. So you just learn so many things going through it. And that was just to feed the bar out. Now the next tool, we've got tools on the outside. We've got tools on the inside. On some machines, they can be working simultaneously. That reduces time in cut. By the time you get through this, just one table layout, you've not only figured out how to make the part, you understand why it costs, what it costs, how, if you could do it two at once, how you could drop two complete, and it's even cheaper. And it's a complete education in an hour and 30 minutes of sitting at a table, listening to people with more experience, more knowledge, share, because you know what? It's really not a trade secret. The bars go in that end. Who's going to steal that?
Right. No, there was a lot of learning, and I loved reading the comments, especially from the first-timers who said that they were sent there to learn or to understand the industry or to increase their skills, and that they definitely did that. So the tech conference went extremely well. And then we got to launch our mastery program, which, if you haven't heard yet, listeners, is our PMPA's newest program. It's 3 two-day bus tours where we experience the supply chain.
The entire value chain, from raw materials to an F-150 pickup truck.
That's right. Watch the parts being put in the truck.
So the value chain, we look at raw materials, not just steel, not just hot roll, not just cold finish. We look at the entire steel process chain. We look at copper alloys the same way, right? We visit service centers that carry aluminum.
Yeah.
So we look at different materials. We visited Fisher Special Tooling, right? Presented Kevin Johnson, his company's 25-year member of PMPA, got to present him that with everybody there. And then we got guided tours through their shop, and we got to see how it is that tool makers work to tolerances that are a tenth of the tolerances we work to. And ours are pretty damn small.
It was fascinating. They really did an incredible job, and congratulations to them on the 25 years. Let's see, then we hopped back in the bus, and we went to Absolute Machine Tools in Elyria. And boy, that was eye-opening. They are a distributor and importer, and they walked us through the importing process. I had no idea.
Yeah, so imagine your business model is to take all your money, put it in irrevocable lines of credit, send it overseas where you can't touch it and neither can anybody else. Just trust it. And by the way, somehow machines will magically make their way from that port to this port, and they'll be held by customs. And if your paperwork isn't exactly right, no laundry, right?
Right.
That's like, excuse me. And then, by the way, we've still got the entire continent of North America. So how much freight do I really want to put in it? You know, there's a lot of savvy in being a business person in our industry. Mm-hmm. And as much as the technical stuff is a good lesson, seeing how clever people have to be profitable and to provide great service, that was a wonderful take home for an old guy like me, I have to tell you. I have great respect for the business skills of everybody that we visited, because these people are top shelf.
And they're getting it done.
They're getting it done.
Let's see, then we got back on the bus and we went to Concast Metal in Birmingham.
And so Concast Metal does some amazing magic. So they truly take scrap materials, scrap alloy of various copper alloys, and they melt and continuously cast them into sections that are then finished or used as is and sold from their inventory. And I don't want to give out any trade secrets, but it was the first time many people saw how many millions of dollars could fit in a very small area.
Oh my gosh. my mind is still blown from that. It was, you could feel the heat.
You could feel the heat.
You could feel the heat.
The fire, they had these different casters and furnaces running, and you could see the fire and you could feel the heat from the fire. And it's like, that's why we don't wear polyester in the mill.
There we go. Very good reason. Then we got back on the bus and went to North Lake Steel, where I saw the cold drawing process, which makes so much sense to me now. Oh my gosh, that was eye-opening to me as well.
It was, and you got to see the full range too. So they were doing turning, and they were doing grinding, and they were doing cold drawing, and they were doing straightening. Got to see those two-roll straighteners.
Oh, those straightening. I did not know what went into straightening.
And they had those press straighteners too. Remember,
Yes.
we saw those billets, so you actually got to see billets.
I saw a billet.
So, I mean, it was just, and so tell me about the housekeeping. So, you know, the housekeeping, we've been in all these manufacturing places, right?
Oh,
Tell me about the housekeeping.
spotless. It was unbelievably clean. It could have been a retail store. I mean,
I'm not going to say, I almost said a name, where you walk in and all the clothes and garments are on the floor.
well, I don't know where you shop, but where I shop, the floors are cleared.
Yeah, well,
And
this
no,
one
I
sends
was.
me a discount code every once in a while.
It was a place I would have sent my kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I would have sent my kid.
And the first thing, whenever we were there, the first thing they did, they made sure we knew where the restrooms were, so they were taking care of our needs as humans. They had water, you know, but the very first thing was, here's your safety, you know, here's what you need to know before we take you out. So, I mean, it was really a commitment.
It was. And yeah, Comcast provided lunch. I mean, they even had a tent out for us, and there was a huge storm that blew through and literally blew the tent up. But hey, they made it work. They set us up inside the building.
It's manufacturing.
Pivot.
It's manufacturing, very nimble, very agile. Splendid hosts, but we got to see, and that's what I'm so excited about, is the next time a problem comes up, there's not going to be it's in the material. They saw the material. They saw how it was made. They saw the care. They saw the speed. They saw that it was a longitudinal process, not transverse. There's so much wisdom in seeing it yourself, being able to ask the question, and seeing the forces involved.
Yeah, the experience.
It was the experience.
And then the PMTS show. Oh my goodness. Filled the exhibit hall, booths were up, machines were running, people were walking around. I know a lot of the exhibitors let us know how well it went for them, and the attendees were smiling. It was a sight to see.
It really was. I've never been around so many positive people in one place. I mean, I don't think I had, not a single discouraging comment from anybody the whole time.
I didn't either.
And I'd go visit shops. So one of the things I did was on the first day of the mastery tour, we had headphones and mics, and we literally did a speed round, and I'll bet I took our mastery tour participants to about 100 exhibitors in that PMTS hall that first day. And I'd make a comment, and I'd give the microphone to whoever was at the booth. In one case, there was no one there. I gave the presentation for them. But we did 100 PMPA member booths on our walkthrough.
Oh yeah, that was extensive. It was fantastic. They saw everything.
Right, and so is this something that would improve the quality of life or the ability to do your job at work? If so, get your badge swiped.
Yeah, get some information.
Get the information.
Yeah. So it was an immersive experience from Sunday through Thursday.
And on Thursday, I finally got a bit of relaxation, only PMTS, not two things going on at once. And what amazed me was the number of machines I saw that had sold.
Yeah.
Sold, right?
A lot of sold signs.
Sold signs.
Mm-hmm.
So the people who came to PMTS were serious. They had a problem to solve. They were looking for a solution. They weren't out on a Sunday drive.
No.
They weren't kicking tires.
This was not a looky-loo group. This was they wanted to see the new technology, and they were ready to implement it in their shops as well.
Yeah.
No, it was a great group. You did an incredible job walking everybody through. I could hear the mastery members saying, oh, wait, that applies to my shop. Or, oh, that applies to my shop. And some of them they wouldn't have even thought to stop at.
And as focused as the PMTS show is, there's still so many booths, maybe you wouldn't stop.
Right.
So this was an opportunity to see something that you'd have probably just glanced at and walked by because nobody's kind of
You could connect the dots for them, though, because
Right.
you said, hey, if you do this in your shop, you want to talk to this guy.
Absolutely.
And I could see a couple eurekas. Ooh, let me talk to that person.
And that's the point. That's the workforce development we need to do as an industry. I think way too much of our workforce development effort is at getting people at the bottom of the escalator onto the escalator. We need to help the people that are in the middle of the escalator take those next couple of steps on their own to fill their brain,
Yeah.
to make the next step so they can be more effective. So it's not just we need more people. Of course we need more talent. We do need more talent. But we've got talent. And let's give them broader context for what it is they do, for what it is they get to work with. That broader context will pay off in better decision-making on the shop floor.
Yes, it will. And the next time this immersive experience will come to fruition is when PMTS in 2023. We'll be back in Cleveland. We'll have Tech Conference. We'll have Mastery Program. We'll have PMTS. But in 22, we've got Tech Conference in Milwaukee. And we will start the second cohort for the Mastery Program. We'll have new places to visit there, too. So if, listeners, by chance you missed our Cleveland adventure, you still have a chance to be part of this immersive experience. You can go on pmpa.org and get information, or shoot me an email at cmiller@pmpa.org.
Carly, that wraps it up, I think. It was an immersive experience. Thousands of people showed up. We got to see the entire value chain. A bunch of us did. A couple hundred of us got really good, close, detailed instruction in various aspects of our craft at the tech conference. And of course, we got to see everything that's related to our industry. So thanks for producing that. Thanks to our partners at Gardner for helping us produce the PMTS. And thank you, listeners, for joining us on this podcast. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast. I don't know that we get anything for the ratings, but we'd like to know how you think about it. You really don't want to miss one.
And for additional information, please visit pmpa.org, where you can also search for articles, webinars, more podcasts, and other resources. And if you aren't already taking advantage of a PMPA membership, be sure to check out the website to see a myriad of other benefits. And why is PMPA membership so important, Miles? Because we are better together.
Don't forget to join us next Monday on Speaking of Precision, Monday with Miles.